my gosh, it's been 2 years since I've been off of social media. 2 years. A year ago, I was over here facing y'all, you, whoever's watching this, sitting in this chair telling you about my 1 year being off of social media experience, and now I'm over here telling you about 2 years. So if you're new to this specific video, I left social media 2 years ago, and there are 3 different videos that I've posted before just talking about this. And the first one was the day I left social media. The second one was the 30-day mark, which, 30 days in is a lot of figuring out, I want to go back to my old ways, but I didn't. And then the third one was the 1 year mark. And so just some backstory too, I am a makeup artist. I am about 10 years into business now, and I'm also a millennial. So I've had social media ever since like junior year of high school, and I've had it for the majority of the time I've run a business too. So just this past 2 years without it is the only time I've had no social media during business. And so personally and professionally, I got off of social media, and those required of me were Facebook, Instagram. Those were really the 2 that just ate up all the time. I did have Twitter in the past and Snapchat and TikTok, but those really weren't major time sucks like the Facebook and Instagram were. And so 2 years means 730 days without being on these apps. And there isn't a huge difference between year 1 and year 2, but there are some differences, and so I wrote down just some quick notes to spit off in case anyone's interested. I know I'm interested in just continuing to reflect on this process. So, next year, I'm sure I'll have a little bit of something to add to this as well, because time has changed. The times have changed. So the second year was much easier than the first year because I was used to it. So the first year of getting off of the social media platforms and the apps was the hardest because you had to experience annually what occurs without something you're used to and something you're familiar with to make money with as well. So it was a little bit anxiety inducing because templates I had in place to promote for certain classes or holidays or low periods, slow periods, vacations, all of those things had to be relearned and absorbed. So I kind of had to experience them to know what to edit for this coming year. And so I'm sitting a lot more confident in the second year of being off of it than the first. But there is a little bit of, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So it's not a linear wedge going up. It's these little circles and you're still going up, but you're like going backwards, then up, then backwards, then up. I hope that makes sense. That's how I feel all the time. I'm like, life's great. Life's funny. You're funny, life. But it was a little bit harder professionally because the newness of being off of social media wore off. So when I got off of social media, it was still like newsworthy to say, I'm getting off of it. Like it was a story to tell with people amongst themselves. And so that story really did stay decently strong, through the year. People kind of knew, she's not going to be posting her Christmas specials or her blah, blah, blahs on these platforms. Let me subscribe to her email newsletter, things like that. So the first year, that was kind of at the forefront. Second year, it's kind of like the dust has settled, it's old news. So it just didn't travel the same way. And so full transparency, a few people have been like, are you still doing makeup? And so that does prove that, if you don't have a presence on social media, there will be some people who assume, especially if they just have like missed these videos somehow, they will assume that you're not doing it anymore, or they will wonder if you're doing it anymore. And honestly, ultimately, it's been a great question for people to ask because then I can respond back and say, well, yes, I am still doing it. And here's the website, check it out. Obviously, you can shop on there 24/7. You can book an appointment on there anytime you need to. So it's been a great response to the question, but the question comes, and that is reflective of people just kind of wondering where you are if you're not on social media. And so I've, had to do some reflecting on what I ultimately want, because the temptation is still there all the time. I'll talk to other business owners and they'll say, you really, not you really, but like, it's the digital age, everyone's online. I can't run my business without it. And my life is my own, and my needs are my own, and my experience is relative to myself. And I know the last thing that I want to do is to get back on social media to try to generate more sales for my business. And that's a beautiful luxury. That means that I know how to quick pivot to kind of fill in gaps, and I have a really small business. And so that's not available to everyone, and I understand. So I'm making the decisions that are best for me professionally and personally, and I am a one-person business. So if I'm right, my business is right. And so, yeah, I want to be thinking very long run. And so I don't want to get back on an app real quick to make some sales, to funnel back into the business, to then get off of it again. I want to take this at a slow pace and really focus on the future. I want to be an old lady makeup artist. I want to be 80 and doing makeup. And my mental health and physical health need to be in place for that. And it's just better for me to not be on social media if that's my definite chief aim. And it is. I'm always doing little analogies in these videos, but I love an analogy. Sabrina Carpenter, she's like a pop star. She has a song called Bad for Business, and the lyric in it is, he's good for my health, but he's bad for business. And I feel like that's social media to me, or has been, or my relationship with social media to me. I really shouldn't put it all on something else. It's the cocktail of me with whatever it is. And so I feel like social media did have beneficial business benefits, but not ultimately, not more than really, really good mental health. So I kind of have to sit with that all the time. I mean, the temptations do not leave, but I know I have good control over myself now, and I love that. That wouldn't have come without the time away. So personal and professional, it's fabulous for my relationship and for my friendships. If I'm having a good moment with my man, it's real. And I'm not fabricating any part of that by posting it, and I'm not veiling any part of it by posting it. That's really important to me with the things that I found myself kind of doing in the past. And same with friendships. It's real in the moment, and I do take photos. It's just they don't get posted. And so sometimes the photo's a depiction, but the caption is very fabricated. So it's just best for me to know it's real and not sway on any part of that. I just don't go there. Professional, it has freed up so much time and space to work on the areas that I do want to focus on. And that's the website. It's my digital ownership. I have ownership of my website, whereas the social media platforms, not really. And also in studio, so working on decorating this space here. Compacts, the seat, the makeup, the vibe, love that. Word of mouth, I just want to really beautifully treat and convey my appreciation to people who spread the word about my business with their word of mouth, because that is just so iconic. It's trustworthy too. So I appreciate the people that do that for me. And then just in-person networking. So going around and meeting people in person, and that's all there is. So my last little asterisk here is, if you are considering leaving social media as a person, as a business, maybe both, do it. If you feel ill after scrolling, or lazy, or uninspired, or depressed, do it. I think you'll see a lot of benefits on the other side. That's why I said I think you'll see. Everyone's experience is their own, and maybe you weren't as intensely affected by it like I was, but I want to convey back that my decision is I'm not going back. So another decision at year 2 of staying off of it, because the benefits outweigh what I'm missing out on. So I guess I'll see you guys in real life, and I'll see you on another video, probably behind a different colored wall, in a year. Bye.